Well, folks, I'm right now at the State Parks Visitor Center, which they have, as you can see, different observations of different things in the park that you can do. They ask you about trees. Can you identify the trees? Well, no, I'm not a forest guy, but I do appreciate nature. This is the Visitor Center here in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. A lot of people live here all their lives and never have been out here or attempted to come out and look at the exhibitions and the things about what makes Missouri, Missouri. There's one of my favorite birds, the bald eagle. Oh, I love my bald eagles. There's all kind of things that they can explain about Missouri and the people in Missouri. Like this one right here, early people. It says, long before the arrival of Cherokee immigrants in 1837, southeast Missouri has been inhabited by Indian people. The central Mississippi River Valley between Missouri and Ohio River, with its rich blend of river and forest resources, has been a major center of prehistoric cultural development in North America. And they show little things like the Woodland State pottery, you know. Like I said, there are many things that people can come out here to this park and observe and bring their kids and have fun. Hell, even their grandkids. There's one of our native animals, a bobcat, naturally stuffed. He's not alive. But they do have such different things, relics and kamama, a butterfly. That's Indian term. Different artifacts that were found throughout the centuries and years here in Cape Girardeau. Now, don't you know, this is interesting. There's a little spotted salamander. I'll get close up on him. If you aren't too scared of bugs and stuff. It's a little bull snake. His name is Little Bull. And there's some shedding skin. Like I said, it's very interesting coming out. It's more snake skins and how they shed their skin and how it looks. The little bull is a little bull snake. He was born in St. Francis County and donated to the park system. Since I'm a bull snake, I like to eat mice. Fairly quiet and secretive, so I like to hide under paper in my cage. Good thing he wasn't secretive today. He's out. So that's him when he was a baby. And now look how big he is. Like I said, it's very interesting here in the visitor center. People come to the visitor center and learn a lot. Learn a lot. Look at the exhibits, the history. Rebuilding a lost dream. Arrival in Oklahoma. Yep. This is some of the trails across, as they say, trails across Missouri. I don't know how good of shots I'm getting of this, but I'm just letting you see. And virtually they marched. They marched them. Princess Otaki. Who was Otaki? This memorial was dedicated in 1961. Local legend says a Cherokee princess, daughter of the Reverend Jesse Bushyhead, was buried there. This is information that was thought to be correct when a local group erected the pagoda to honor Princess Otaki, and who died on the Trail of Tears. Recent research shows that Princess Otaki was Nancy Bushyhead Walker's Hildebrand. Well, history lesson, y'all. She was the sister of Reverend Jesse Bushyhead, a leader of a contingent of Cherokee on the Trail of Tears. The term princess was a courtesy title given to time by local residents. The Cherokees have a democratic form of government and do not recognize loyalty. So that was something that they gave to her as a title. But Cherokee Indians did not recognize royalty. Okay. Crossing, they was talking about crossing a river, the march to the river. Oh, it's such a great amount of history we haven't learned yet that a lot of people don't know about Missouri. See, they had to cross the Mississippi to get to the other side. The safety upon the Missouri side, the people moved to a short distance island to await their contingents. The winter of 1838 was usually severe. By the middle of December, large chunks of floating ice endangered the ferry boats, and the Mississippi River crossing was halted. Contingents began to stack up on both sides of the river. Near this spot, the sick and weary Cherokees shivered in the cold wagons and huddled around campfires that dotted the countryside. Often, the clothes they wore and thin blankets were the only protection against the frozen ground and the biting winds. Hundreds died. I don't know. Man's humanity, inhumanity toward men. Man, history is rough though, people, but if you got to deal with it. You got to deal with the history of this country. Not only were we affected, the Native Americans were affected. And this was part of the territory and the country that did it. That's an old covered wagon that they actually traveled in. So, like I said, come out to this museum. It's called the Visitor Center. It's more like a museum to me because it's my first time in here. But that's the layout of the park and everything that goes on in the state of Missouri. Amazing. Okay, YouTube people, I will see you when I download this video. And is it okay if I use you on here for a second, call your name and say hi to you? Anna, yeah, she's told me about the place and, how to get out to the lookout point, which I'm going to next. So, awesome. Anna, you have a blessed day, and thank you. Thank you, dear. All right. Okay, folks, we're headed out the front door. We're going to get into the vehicle, and we're going to go up to Lookout Point.